18 News, now in high definition. Sponsored by Williams Auto Group. Serving the Twin Tiers, your local news leader. This is 18 News Today in high definition.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kate Smith. Today is Friday, December 12th, and Zach Wheeler is off.
I'm Nicole Phillips, and thank you for joining us on 18 News Today.
Those stories and much more coming up in just a few minutes. But you know, Christmas is coming, and people are rushing to those stores to go shopping. How are the roads looking for this weekend?
Perfect. You know, yesterday was not such a good day. We had the snow and the ice, but today roads are great. Only thing dealing with clouds and cold temperatures, which is okay.
We'll deal with them. We'll get through it.
We'll get through it because you know what? By this weekend, a little bit warmer. Not too bad, right?
You can't complain with that.
You can't complain. A warm weekend and, you know, a little bit of sun, and it's not too bad.
I'll take it.
But you know what? There's no sun right now. We have clouds, unfortunately, and that would be a perfect way to end our Friday with a little bit of sun, but that's not going to be the case. We do have clouds overhead, and they're going to stick with us for the next 24 hours or so. Satellite and radar showing us dry conditions, so no snow out there, but a few flurries will be possible heading into the afternoon and evening hours, and we're starting to see a few of those flurries pop up right now. Temperatures are on the cold side for this morning in the 20s, 22 in Bath, 29 in Corning, also in Elmira, 24 in Mansfield. So our temperatures for this afternoon, if you're looking for any warmth, it's not going to happen. 34 degrees. Winds right out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. So on the good news, we don't have that much wind, so it's not going to feel anything lower than the low 30s and upper 20s. But still, that's pretty chilly for daytime highs. Cloudy skies for this afternoon. Overnight, temperatures dropping down into the 20s. A few clouds breaking up and partly cloudy skies for Saturday. The clouds move back in for Sunday. I'll break it all down with the Futurecast up next. Kate?
Thanks, Nicole. It's a story we first brought you in early October. The town of Catlin has been at the center of a controversial wind farm proposal from late this year. At the time, officials in the town of Catlin were considering a local law that would regulate energy companies who want to build wind farms in town. Now, some neighbors want a local law to ban wind farms entirely. At the Catlin Town Hall meeting last night, the possible ban was discussed. But town leaders say it might not be in the best interest of the town. Town Supervisor Laverne Phelps says because of some state laws, an outright ban might not be enough to keep wind farms away. He says a local law would protect the town from energy companies looking to capitalize on area properties.
Article 10 in New York State takes over rule of the entire project. So the town loses home rule control. And that's the biggest concern that the town has, that I have, is the fact that we will lose home rule control.
Phillips says a local law would help regulate companies like Florida-based NextEra Energy, who wants to build wind farms in Catlin. And NextEra already has 30 agreements signed from neighbors who want to lease their property and get some revenue that comes with it. But some neighbors have concerns. Noise, loss of scenic landscape, and environmental issues were just a few of the topics addressed last night. One neighbor says discussion is at least a step in the right direction.
I'm very happy that we've kind of come to terms with the township, that they can start to see our point of view. We've done a lot of research, and we brought a lot of that research to them to see.
The Schuyler County town of Dix, next to Catlin, is also considering a wind turbine proposal. The town supervisor says if Dix allows wind farms and Catlin does not, there is a possibility a wind energy company could overturn any ban the town of Catlin puts in place. The proposal for a local law now heads back to the planning board for a review and update. And this morning, the Addison School District will not be purchasing any new properties. Voters in the Addison School District rejected a plan to buy 4 properties to ease the parking crunch at the district's main campus. 180 people voted for the plan, but 201 voted against it. The proposal called for taking more than $200,000 from the district's capital reserved fund to buy 3 homes in a vacant lot near the middle school and high school campus. The homes would have been demolished and the land turned into parking and landscaped green space. The district superintendent says this would improve safety because the area is used as a pickup and drop-off spot for school buses. Addison is in the midst of a $23 million capital project that will include a new middle school wing and new gymnasium. This morning, a Southern Tier man is sentenced to 5 years in prison on drug charges. 54-year-old Anthony Kidd of Wellsville in Allegheny County was convicted after authorities found an active meth lab in his apartment on Madison Avenue in Wellsville. The investigation at his home and another apartment on South Main Street led to the arrest of 4 other people who have already been sentenced on drug-related charges. Kidd was also ordered to pay $3,100 in restitution to reimburse the state for the environmental cleanup cost of the lab site. Well, the First Lady speaks out for children's rights today. Many of Michelle Obama's efforts have been geared towards helping children. Today, the First Lady will speak at the Brookings Institution at an event focused on the same cause. It's called Mobilizing for Children's Rights, supporting local leaders and improving girls' education. And the Internal Revenue Service has announced the standard mileage rates for the 2015 year for taxpayers to use a calculating deductible cost for using a vehicle for business, charitable, medical, or moving purposes. For business use, taxpayers will be able to deduct 57.5 cents a mile. That's up from 56 cents a mile for 2014. The medical use and moving use rates are down from 23.5 cents a mile to 23 cents a mile, and the rate for charitable uses remains fixed at 14 cents a mile. More people are turning to bacteria to help them feel better this flu season. Yogurts and fermented teas contains ingredients many people swear by. Natasha Verma shows us how bacteria can actually help you fight infection.
I'm back because I'm starting to feel sick again.
New mom Tressa Chofi needs extra help fighting off the flu.
So I'm going to get the really heavy dose.
So she's reaching for bacteria. Sounds counterintuitive, but it strengthens your immune system.
I believe that the probiotic is really what killed off the infection and got me feeling a lot better.
Probiotics are good bacteria found in foods like yogurt, refined tofu, and fermented tea.
People have been really afraid of bacteria, thinking that all bacteria are bad. Well, that's not the case.
By eating foods rich with probiotics, you colonize your intestines with beneficial bacteria that absorb nutrients.
The good bacteria outcompete the bad bacteria in your system.
So when you're shopping for yogurt or any other product, here's some words to look out for: live and active cultures and probiotics.
Nutritionists advise eating 1 yogurt a day, and if you're already sick and need help fast, turn to supplements.
It's delayed release, so it'll actually be released inside the intestines, which is where you want them to go.
Boosting your immunity and getting you back on your feet.
I feel 16 years old, but my body don't go along with that.
And experts advise talking to your doctor before adding any supplements to your diet. It is now 6:08 and still to come on 18 News Today. The Senate picks up a spending bill to keep the government running through next September, a measure that almost didn't pass. We'll have a full report coming up next.
Dry and chilly start to the day. Here's a live look at our roof cam. 18 News Today. We'll be right back.
Your local news leader with Zach Wheeler, Kate Smith, and 18 Storm Team meteorologist Nicole Phillips. This is 18 News Today in high definition.
Unless you were up very late last night, you may be waking up this morning wondering if the federal government has shut down. Well, the answer is not yet, but we are sort of in a limbo for a couple of days. Tracy Potts is on Capitol Hill this morning to explain why.
Half of Congress left Washington overnight after a nasty budget fight.
This is exactly the way I don't want to do business.
On this vote, the yeas are 2-6, 219. The nays are 206.
The House is done till next year. Lawmakers left with no spending plan for the country. It's up to the Senate now. They could vote as early as today.
This is a bill we should vote for. This bill needs to pass.
But the $1.1 trillion budget almost didn't get this far. Most Republicans like it.
First of all, it continues to prioritize the right type of budgeting and reduce spending.
But some Democrats are angry because the plan allows wealthy campaign donors to give 10 times more.
Seriously?
And it brings back Wall Street bailouts.
What in the world are my Republican colleagues thinking?
If you think the American public is going to stand for a bailout of the biggest banks in America one more time, you're wrong.
The White House Chief of Staff came to Capitol Hill himself to get Democrats on one page. It didn't work.
Oh, I'm voting no. I'm a no vote.
So here we are in the House being blackmailed.
In the end, the House stands adjourned. They barely moved forward a budget plan that no one here seems quite satisfied with. The new deadline to finalize this budget is Saturday night, but it's possible the vote may go over into Monday. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
It is now 6:12 and still to come on 18 News today. Christmas is coming. Big presents may be done, but have you thought about your stocking stuffers? We have some suggestions for you coming up in this half hour.
Breaking down what you can expect at the slopes with your ski forecast. 18 News Today will be right back.
Coming up next on 18 Sports, the Elmira Jackals close out their road trip in Florida with a loss to Orlando, plus highlights from the hardwood as the Horseheads girls roll to another victory next on 18 Sports.
Now, meteorologist Nicole Phillips with your 18 Storm Team forecast.
Well, good morning. In the 20s so far, so it's pretty chilly out there. We've got winds out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. 22 in Bath, 29 in Corning, and 23 in Sayre. So temperatures for today only warming up to the 30s. And as we head into the afternoon hours, we are going to see these clouds continue to linger, and that's why our temperatures are going to stay so chilly for today. Now this morning, mostly cloudy skies, snow showers off towards our west. Can't rule out a few flurries making their way into our area. We're already starting to see that right now. Going into Saturday morning, it's looking pretty good. Mostly cloudy skies. Then by the afternoon, a few peaks of sun are possible. But heading into the rest of the day on Saturday, those clouds will continue to move back in. And then by Sunday, more clouds moving in but staying dry. We are going to see mostly cloudy skies at least until Monday. Now, if you are heading to Greek Peak this weekend, well, it's looking like a cold and even a few flurries are possible on Saturday. And then going into Sunday, those clouds will continue to linger high right around 32 degrees. And it's going to be pretty chilly up there. I will have your 7-day forecast up next.
The Horseheads girls basketball team has wasted little time showing they're a force to be reckoned with again. Blue Raiders coming off a 38-point win in their season opener. Last night they hit the hardwood for a stack showdown. Horseheads hosting Maine Enwell in their home opener on Thursday night. The Blue Raiders would charge out to an 11-point lead early on. Amanda Schiefen would lead the break and then feed Marlia Nolan for 2. Maine Enwell, though, would answer. The Spartans break the trap. Kiesha Tarico down low scores 2 of her team-high 15 points as Emmy cuts the lead to 7. The Blue Raiders' inside game just too much. Katie Reasons goes straight to the tin for 2 of her 14 points. Horseheads led 18-7 at the end of 1. Marlia Nolan splits the D between 3 Spartans and lays it in for a tough 2 in traffic. The post play of Schiefen and Reasons would combine for 29 points as Schieffens knocks down the turnaround, kissing it off glass. She had 15. It's 25-14 Horseheads. The Blue Raiders, though, would not be done yet. Great ball movement. Katie Reasons seals off her defender and lays it in for 2 more. Horseheads would improve to 2-0, charging past Maine Enwell 58-40. In the ECHL, the Elmira Jackals closed out their 6th game in 7 nights last night, falling to Orlando 5-2. Thomas Nesbitt and Justin Daniels scored for the Jackals in the loss. Elmira has the weekend off before heading to Evansville to take on the Icemen on Wednesday, December 17th. Stay tuned tonight as we take a look at who won the Athlete of the Week, plus look at the Syracuse Orange men's basketball team as they get ready to take on Louisiana Tech on Sunday. That's your look at sports. Have a great day, everybody.
It is 6:18 and coming up next on 18 News Today, Christmas is coming. Big presents may be done, but have you thought about your stocking stuffers? Well, we have some suggestions for you coming up next.
Here's another look at your ski forecast. More local news and weather when 18 News Today returns.
If you haven't finished up your Christmas shopping and you're still looking for techie stocking stuffers, well, Mark Barger talked to a tech expert for a few under $50 suggestions.
For TV fans who have not joined the streaming revolution, the Roku is a possibility. It starts at $49 and can stream hundreds of channels and is a favorite of CNET.com editors.
There's also the Google Chromecast, which is $35. It's a little bit cheaper, but it requires a tablet or a laptop for you to stream from it.
For people on the go, wearable fitness bands could be an option. They vary widely in price and features, but the Misfit Flash and the Jawbone Up Move each cost about $50.
They both track all of the fitness that you want. They both have apps to help you keep track of what you're eating. The Jawbone in particular has a really nice app.
If the Christmas tree is lacking that little something extra, the Jingle Balls wireless ornament could fill the void.
It costs $20. It's a Bluetooth speaker. You pair it with your phone. It plays music. Just really fun.
For smartphone users who need a little help getting that perfect selfie, the selfie phone case might be able to help.
It actually has a little remote that pops out so that you can set your phone somewhere else and take a picture from afar.
The selfie costs $40 and is available for the iPhone 5, 6, and 6 Plus, as well as the Galaxy S5. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Amazon's also entering the TV streaming realm with the Fire Stick, similar to the Roku and the Chromecast. It will run you about $39, but won't be available till after the first of the year. It is now 6:21 and still to come on 18 News Today. It was a day of fun for dozens of terminally ill children and their families. How they're celebrating the holidays coming up next.
The first 7-day forecast up next when 18 News Today returns.
Your local news leader with Zach Wheeler, Kate Smith, and 18 Storm Team meteorologist Nicole Phillips. This is 18 News Today in high definition. This is 18 News Today in high definition.
Well, good morning. A few flurries possible this morning and even into the rest of the afternoon and evening. But dry this weekend and also starting to warm back up. Temperatures right around the 40-degree mark. But rain and snow come back on Tuesday and Wednesday. And this is not a significant system. It's just a little system that's going to bring us a few rain and snow showers on Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, temperatures right now in the 20s, 22 in Bath, 24 up in Watkins Glen, and 23 down in Towanda. Pretty chilly out there, but our winds are calm and will stay calm for the afternoon, right around 5 to 10 miles per hour. We're not going to deal with gusty winds like what we saw on Wednesday. Now, for the rest of today and into your weekend, it's looking pretty good. On the chilly side today, we will have those flurries this morning and even towards the afternoon. Northwest winds 5 to 10, 37 on Saturday. So starting to warm up. It's a gradual warm up. A few peaks of sun possible for the afternoon. Then 41 on Sunday, 43 by Monday. Mostly cloudy skies. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, that system comes in. It brings us a chance of a few scattered rain and snow showers. Temperatures on Tuesday right around 40 and then 34 on Wednesday. Back into the mid-30s on Thursday, 36 degrees, but we will start to see a little bit more sun. School day outlook up next. Kate?
Thanks, Nicole. Christmas came early for some Florida kids Thursday. The 29th annual Flight to the North Pole event in Sarasota was a day of fun for dozens of terminally ill children and their families. There was snow on the ground for the kids to play with, as well as singing, face painting, clowns, and horse riding. And of course, the biggest highlight was Santa Claus, who arrived by a helicopter instead of his usual sleigh. A group of Eastern Airline flight attendants started the program in 1985, and it was later taken over by the Manatee County Sheriff's Office and Fire Department. The event was free to the children and their families, and is put on through donations. What a great story. It is now 5:27, and coming up next on 18 News Today, if you're getting fewer Christmas cards in the mail this holiday season, well, you're not alone. People are giving up on that tradition, and we have more coming up next. Plus, the Regional Economic Development Council awarded the Southern Tier more than $80 million. What will that money be used for? Well, we have that story up next. First, you're watching 18 News Today.
Now on 18 News.
The slow-moving storm that hovered over the Northeast is finally moving away this morning. How is your weekend shaping up? The 18 Storm Team has your weekend forecast. And millions of dollars are awarded to economic projects across New York State, including right here in the Southern Tier. Plus, could the internet be ruining a holiday tradition? This morning, less people are receiving holiday cards. Could it be a thing of the past?
18 News, now in high definition. Sponsored by Williams Auto Group. Serving the Twin Tiers. Your local news leader. This is 18 News Today in high definition.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kate Smith. Today is Friday, December 12th, and Zach Wheeler has the day off.
And I'm Nicole Phillips, and thank you for joining us on 18 News Today.
Those stories and much more coming up in just a few minutes, but let's talk about weekend weather. How's it looking?
It's looking pretty good. You know, those clouds are still going to linger into Saturday morning. Few peaks of sun, but it's looking good if you have plans.
Hey, that's good.
Right?
Good driving conditions, awesome.
Right. You know, if you do have plans this weekend, it's looking pretty good. Sunday, clouds will move back in, but warmer temperatures are coming back, and I'll have all those details coming up in just a little bit. But first, let's get you out of the door on your Friday morning. Now, we have clouds out there. We are dry for the most part, but we are starting to see a few flurries pop up, and that's going to be the case for the rest of the day. Just stray flurries here and there. We have a few flurries out towards Bath and a little bit of a light mix out towards Hornell. No accumulation expected for today from those flurries, but by the rest of the afternoon, starting to see that clear, and then partly cloudy as we head towards Saturday. 27 in Watkins Glen, 26 in Spencer, and 28 in Cohocton. So in the 20s this morning. We will remain on the chilly side for the rest of today. Low to upper 20s this morning, a few flurries possible, right around 34 degrees this afternoon. Clouds will start to break overnight, temperatures back in the 20s, and for the weekend, a little warmer. I'll break it all down with the Futurecast in just a little bit. Kate?
Thanks, Nicole. The Southern Tier received a huge economic boost. Governor Andrew Cuomo and the Regional Economic Development Council awarded over $700 million in funding to 10 regions across New York State. The Southern Tier came out as a top performer yet again, earning more than $80 million, the third highest amount of awards overall. Emhart Glass and Elmira received one of the biggest awards of the region, totaling $1.65 million.
Where Emhart is going is the former Sikorsky building, which sits up on Kaler Road. So that'll actually be an expansion of the facility, and it'll mean jobs for us, the retention of jobs, and down the road some new jobs.
And the major grant winner for the Southern Tier was Watkins Glen International, who received over $2 million to help resurface the track. The racetrack hasn't been repaved since the mid-90s. Overall, this round of economic development awards was another huge success in the Southern Tier. This morning, the Addison School District will not be purchasing any new properties. Voters in the Addison School District rejected a plan to buy 4 properties to ease the parking crunch at the district's main campus. 180 people voted for the plan, but 201 voted against it. The proposal calls for taking more than $200,000 from the district's Capital Reserve Fund to buy 3 homes in a vacant lot near the middle school and high school campus. The homes would have been demolished and the land turned into parking and landscaped green space. The district superintendent says this would improve the safety because the area is used as a pickup and drop-off spot for school buses. Addison is in the midst of a $23 million capital project that will include a new middle school wing and new gymnasium. This morning, a Southern Tier man is sentenced to 5 years in prison on drug charges. 54-year-old Anthony Kidd of Wellsville in Allegheny County was convicted after authorities found an active meth lab in his apartment on Madison Avenue in Wellsville. The investigation at his home and another apartment on South Main Street led to the arrest of 4 other people who have already been sentenced on drug-related charges. Kidd was also ordered to pay $3,100 in restitutions to reimburse the state for the environmental cleanup of the cost of the lab site. And if you're getting fewer Christmas cards in the mail this holiday season, well, you're not alone. People are giving up on that tradition, and some have made the switch to e-cards. Others say mailing cards is just too expensive. Rachel Polanski reports.
Is the greeting card industry about to become extinct? A digital expert says the cost of the cards and stamps is taking a toll. Not to mention, we now live on the internet.
We're so used to saying hello and happy birthday to our friends in social media that we do that automatically now on our timelines on Facebook or in Twitter or Instagram. We send people messages through those platforms as well.
It's quick and easy. I went to elfyourself.com, I uploaded a few photos, and within 5 minutes, I created this fun e-card featuring some of my coworkers. A pop culture expert says there are advantages to going digital.
All those people that used to be on your Christmas card list are now probably in your social media networks. So now not only are you not just hearing from them once a year on a Christmas card with a little deer and robins and snow on it, now you're hearing from them like constantly.
People who have worked here at News Channel 9 for a long time tell me it used to be filled with hundreds of holiday cards. Today I walked around the newsroom and all I could find was this small handful.
In the end, I think the people who miss the old way most are the people who grew up with it.
Experts say most of those people are now over the age of 40, and they're the ones keeping the greeting card companies in business.
There's still going to be people sending cards. I don't think that's going to go away. It's just going to be a niche.
A niche that keeps this fading tradition alive. Rachel Polanski, News Channel 9.
It is now 5:36 and still to come on 18 News today. On the brink of a government shutdown, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a spending bill which would keep the government funded through September. The Senate agreed on a 2-day extension to give itself time to consider the bill. That report coming up next.
A few flurries today. Clouds will linger. 18 News Today. We'll be right back.
Your local news leader with Zach Wheeler, Kate Smith, and 18 Storm Team meteorologist Nicole Phillips. This is 18 News Today in high definition.
To avoid a government shutdown, lawmakers will have to act soon. The Senate could vote today on a bill which passed the House last night. Andrew Spencer reports.
The $1.1 trillion spending bill would fund most of the government through September, but it's not a sure thing. Running short on time, the Senate avoided a government shutdown at midnight by agreeing to a 2-day extension. The bill, negotiated by Republicans and Democrats, ran into some late opposition in the House. But even the most outspoken critics.
Here we are in the House being blackmailed to vote for an appropriations bill.
Say a shutdown won't happen.
Are you willing to be held responsible for shutting down the government, Madam Leader?
We're not shutting down.
I know there's a lot of concern, certainly, but in Congress at the last part of session that there's a little bit of drama is like saying that the sun is coming up tomorrow morning. They'll get this worked out.
The House was able to squeeze the bill through before midnight.
On this vote, the yeas are 26, 219. The nays are 206. The motion is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
A vote in the Senate will likely happen sometime today. Andrew Spencer, 18 News Today.
And in other news around the nation this morning, a powerful storm system with torrential rain and near hurricane force winds slammed into California on Thursday. One person was injured when a roof partially collapsed at a Safeway supermarket in San Jose. Firefighters initially blamed the collapse on a combination of heavy rains and the building's age, but further assessment will be required. Winds from the storm also kicked up 6 to 7 foot waves on Lake Tahoe, big enough to lure surfers out in the frigid water. And for the first time since July of 2009, the price of oil fell below $60 a barrel. At the end of the trading day, oil traded at $59.95. For nearly 6 months, the price of oil has been falling and is down 44% since reaching a high in late June of over $107. The drop in the price of oil is a result of rising global oil production, particularly in the United States. It is 6:42 and still to come on 18 News Today. Heading to the movies this weekend, we have your box office preview coming up next.
Futurecast up next when 18 News Today returns.
Now, meteorologist Nicole Phillips with your 18 Storm Team forecast.
Well, good morning. Cold today with highs only in the low 30s. And as we head towards lunchtime, we're only going to be right around the freezing mark. And some of us are still going to be in the upper 20s. So we're not expecting a big warm up for today. This morning starting off in the 20s and this afternoon getting into the low 30s. But by this evening, the upper 20s start to return to the area. And overnight, we will drop down into the low to mid 20s. And then by Saturday morning, right around 9 a.m., in the low 30s. So we do start to warm up as we head towards Saturday. Notice how by the afternoon, right around lunchtime, we're still in the mid 30s. So it's not going to be too bad. Then as we approach the evening hours, high temperatures are going to get into the upper 30s for Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies for this morning. A few flurries are going to be possible. We're going to keep that chance of flurries with us right on into the afternoon hours. And in this evening, we'll start to see that clear up. Going into Saturday, mostly cloudy skies, and then starting to see a few peaks of sun by the late afternoon and evening. 32 today, not too bad, just on the cold side. Clouds will continue to linger. A few flurries will remain possible, dropping down to 31 degrees by 6 p.m. Overnight temperatures in the mid-20s. Clouds starting to break apart. Mostly cloudy start to Saturday, but then a few peaks of sun are possible by the afternoon with highs in the upper 30s. I will have your 7-day forecast up next. Kate?
Thanks, Nicole. Christian Bale has been in some pretty big movies. He was iconic in Christopher Nolan's Batman series and won an Oscar for his role in The Fighter. But his latest film brings perhaps Bale's most culturally significant role, that of Moses. Here's Raphael Seth with a box office preview.
Drown him in the Nile, as you should have been.
It's sibling rivalry on a biblical scale in Exodus, Gods and Kings. Joel Edgerton's doing all right for himself as the Pharaoh of Egypt. He's a god king who rules with a golden fist. That is until his adopted brother Moses, played by Christian Bale, starts having conversations with the real God who smites the non-believers with plagues. Exodus, Gods and Kings is rated PG-13.
I need your help, Doc.
Maybe you should just look the other way.
The plot thickens in Inherent Vice. Joaquin Phoenix is a California private eye who gets caught in the flytrap of lost love. Catherine Waterston is his ex-girlfriend who needs help investigating a plot to intern her current boyfriend to a mental institution. That plot, of course, is being hatched by the millionaire playboy's conniving wife. Inherent Vice is rated R.
I don't feel like doing funny movies anymore. I don't feel funny.
Save some of that stuff for your Times interview.
Chris Rock's had enough of the funny business in Top 5. The actor-comedian also serves as writer-director in this art imitates life flick. He plays a box office comic just a few years past his prime. He's engaged to a reality star and trying to go in a new direction, but a one-day interview with reporter Rosario Dawson may put him on a completely different path. Top 5 is rated R. That's the box office preview. Raphael Seth, NBC News.
It is 6:48, and coming up next on 18 News Today, Studies have shown that strokes can cause memory loss. But now researchers want to see if memory problems might predict strokes. We have that report coming up in your health news.
Temperatures this evening dropping down to the low 30s and upper 20s. 18 News Today will be right back.
Studies have shown that strokes can cause memory loss, but researchers wanted to see if memory problems might predict strokes. Researchers looked at subjective memory complaints of more than 9,000 seniors in the Netherlands. People who reported lapse in memory were more likely to have a stroke, but that risk was 39% higher among those who attended college. The results are similar to the link between highly educated people and Alzheimer's disease. The majority of American high school students aren't getting enough sleep. The new Columbia University study found less than 10% of adolescents get at least 9 hours of sleep as recommended by the Centers for Disease Control. And researchers noticed teens got less sleep as their grade level increased. Only 5% of 12th graders said they logged 9 hours of sleep each night. And a new study shows that roughly 2/3 of surgeons have music playing while they're operating. About 80% of surgical team members said music boosts communications and efficiency. While reducing anxiety, music also appears to improve surgical performances, especially among doctors who listen to music regularly. Suggested tunes include Stayin' Alive by the Bee Gees and Smooth Operator by Sade, while it may be best to avoid Another One Bites the Dust by Queen or REM's Everybody Hurts. It is now 6:53, and coming up next on 18 News Today, the Catlin Town Supervisor says regulating rather than trying to ban wind turbines in the town might be the best approach. Reaction from neighbors coming up next.
One final look at your 7-day forecast up next when 18 News Today returns.
Adolescence is the awkward age in the life of a youngster. They're too old for an allowance and too young for a credit card. Have a nice day and give a smile to somebody else.
In our top story this morning, the town of Catlin has been at the center of a controversial wind farm proposal. At the time, officials in the town of Catlin were considering a local law that would regulate energy companies who want to build wind farms in town. Now, some neighbors want a local law to ban a wind farm entirely. At the Catlin town meeting last night, the possible ban was discussed, but town leaders say it might not be in the best interest of the town. Town Supervisor Laverne Phelps says because of some state laws, an outright ban would not be enough to keep wind farms away. He says local laws would protect the town from energy companies looking to capitalize on area properties.
Article 10 in New York State takes over rule of the entire project. So the town loses home rule control. And that's the biggest concern that the town has, that I have, is the fact that we will lose home rule control.
Phillips says a local law would help regulate companies like Florida-based NextEra Energy who want to build wind farms in Catlin. NextEra already has 30 agreements signed from neighbors who want to lease their property and get the revenue that comes with it. But some neighbors have concerns. Noise, loss of scenic landscape, and environmental issues were just a few of those topics addressed.
Well, looking at our sky cam, mostly cloudy skies, we do have a few flurries out there, and those are going to continue for the rest of today before ending by the evening hours. And temperatures are on the chilly side, too. We're starting off in the upper 20s to low 30s. So overnight, we were actually mostly cloudy, but we're starting to see those flurries develop here, and that's going to be the case. Temperatures so far this morning, 24 in Bath, 25 in Watkins Glen, 28 in Towanda. Pretty chilly out there, but heading into the rest of the afternoon, not really warming up, only low 30s for today. Staying cloudy, a few flurries possible. Clouds do break in the overnight hours. We will see partly cloudy skies by Saturday afternoon. It will be a pretty cloudy start, 37 degrees, 41 on Sunday, then 43 on Monday. Clouds moving back in, and then our next system comes in and brings us a chance of a few scattered snow and rain showers. 36 degrees as we head towards Thursday with partly cloudy skies, so we do warm up for this weekend, and it's looking pretty good.
Well, you know, personally, I'd rather have the weekend look good. Who cares about what the week looks like, right?
Right. You're inside, you're at work,
Yeah.
and the weekend you can kind of relax.
Enjoy. And
Yeah.
Go out, do stuff, especially go shopping.
Yeah, because Christmas is
It's
2
coming.
weeks away.
It's coming.
Right?
So.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for joining us for 18 News Today. The Today Show is next.
Have a great day.
We'll see ya.
Find 18 News wherever you are on mytwintiers.com, Facebook, Twitter, and our apps for both news and weather.